Hello everybody, welcome to NIMBY Rails, day 4 I think, something like that. We're building Northern California, Sacramento to San Jose. So let's see what we got here, 5. Load the game, didn't play it offline, let it run offline and build up a little bit of cash. Because one of the things about this game, oh yeah, and if you haven't seen the game before, it lets you build anywhere. Literally anywhere. It's based on the OpenStreetMap protocol, so if you want to go to Paris and build a train line there, you can do that. Actually, I think that is a train line. Build Paris to London, you can build the tunnel. If you build up a lot of money. Some of this thing is only about $1 billion crossover, so. Hey Zardy, how you doing? Yeah, that's pretty good so far. It's one guy working out of Barcelona, Spain. He's done all the work on the game so far. There's still a lot of stuff to be added that just came out on the January 26th. But yeah, you can do... Yeah. So my goal, so you start with $1 billion. I spent $1 billion and we've made about 300 or 400 million since then. So $1 billion got us this line. And now I'm extending, actually the line comes into Richmond here. And the second line is going to run down to San Jose. We're making about 50 million a week, so this took 2 weeks to accumulate. And right now there's no switches, so I'm keeping things safe by doing everything point to point. So for example, this line comes, tram line comes through and ends here and then goes back, just back and forth. Lines keep things simple, keep it safe. Otherwise, if you let a junction get backed up, you start losing money fast. Looking at our finances, like I was saying about, so last week, let's put this to week. So this week we've made 13 million profit so far. Last week made 48 million profit, and then we made about 50 million the week before. I added a couple of trains to the line I built last time, make that more efficient. We're going to extend this line down here following the hills because it's cheaper to build on the hills. There's no cost for building in mountains or hills. There's no up and down. What costs money is crossing streets. So that's what you want to avoid. Until you have so much money you don't care. So we're going to continue the station out here. Cut through all this. Then we'll put our next station. Actually, that's what we'll build first. Got Berkeley, so we want Oakland. And yeah, it looks like in here. So next time we'll go around that way. Got a little bit of expensive real estate to cut across here. Castro Valley. And then we'll kind of cut in Union City. Hey Gio, how you doing? Welcome. So how's your lines going, Gio? Alright, let me put one in. Yeah, right here. So we go tracks. Go ahead and crank it up top speed. We need a station for regular ground track. And we'll go 1100 meters. Yeah. Oops. Not as zoomed down as I thought. Skyline Senior High School. Almost everything seems to get named after schools on this map, because most of the points of interest that remain on the map, even though because it doesn't have ultimate zoom in where that shows you all the businesses. It's mostly larger points of interest. Why is there... Does it count for the... I don't have any other track built, do I? Like a test track or something? That doesn't look like it. 791, I guess that's the length of that. Alright, so now we go to trackling. So... getting through this... looks to be a challenge. This ground, yes. Yes. Yes, 350. Alright, we gotta get across this river. So you can't cross at too sharp of an angle. So that worked. So this is gonna be a little... it shouldn't be too bad. Each of those little overpasses costs $1 million. 6 overpasses. Did they half the price? There was a small update, so he might have done some balancing. It used to be $1 million per overpass. Oh no, it counts as 2. 1 for each direction of track. So yeah, it's still... no, but there's 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Five, 6. Yep. Okay, so about half the price. So it looks like he did do some balancing. Kind of direct distance versus route distance. Yeah, exactly. Alright, so it looks like if we can get into this purple area, that's safe. Because it only counts roads if they're split like that. In fact, I think these thin ones don't count. I think those count as paths. So these are the ones that cost money. So we can get into this purple. Then we can come through here. Yeah, that won't be too bad at all. If I can get a nice curve here without losing speed. Our trains can go 320. And then we can grab the segments and kind of move them around a little bit to try to even out the speed later. That's probably not going to work. $350. That's where that bridge kind of fails. If I go this way a little bit, that straightens out these other bits. $302, $350, $290, and $280. Get that over as far as I can because that will allow this. Alright, so here's where we kind of try to compromise 311 and 310. That'll work. Now I gotta get through this river. No, that's fine. I want to go on this side of the river and the purple. No. Oops. I'm stretching it, not adding new. $310. $350. There we go. $329, $333. $350, $350, $350, and now actually add track instead of stretching the old track. Rimworld music, yep. So I do a playlist of game soundtracks as my background music because currently they're mostly safe from the whole thing with the takedown notices, because if it's an original soundtrack to the game and not just something they license through a record company. Alright, so okay, that worked fine. Let's squeeze this over as far as we can. Alright, so that's all. So 307 there. That's coming out of the station, so that's not a big deal. 350s. 350s, 330, the train only goes 320. Alright, so we're good to there. Now we need to get from here. Oop. Alright, so 320 coming out of the station. Wasn't good enough. Alright, so that actually wasn't that hard. Spent 40 million. Good news is we probably don't have to buy a train for this segment yet. It's probably when I get to the next segment that I have to buy a second train. So we'll do one. So that's Oakland. So we got Richmond, Berkeley, Oakland. Yeah, I really don't have the money to go through that. Do I want to do one there though? A station there? It's about the right spacing. So we do a station somewhere over here. And kind of curl in for Fremont. And then go around. Tuck in here for Milpitas. By then we should be making enough money. Cut around here. By then we might be making enough money to actually go into San Jose proper. So let's see. Alright, let's get the... There's only 308 people there. Let's go ahead and burn this in. And then we'll get the tram line working into Oakland. A long day of talking, starting to get to me. Yeah, and with the cheaper overpasses, yeah, I think by the time we get to San Jose, we can actually cut into the city. Build all blueprints. Build. Alright, now we take our East Bay main line. And we go from Richmond. Add a line. So this now goes through Berkeley. And then reverses here. Bloop. Alright, so now we gotta figure out estimated travel time. Ideal speed will be 280. Boop. And minimum interval, we're doing 15 minutes. One train doesn't matter. We did 2 trains, it would be 7 minutes. So I'll set that anyway. And then we look at our line making. So this line added about 3 million. Oh, this plus this added almost 4 million, like 3.5 million per week. So once we get a good tram line out of this, so we'll feed this one, yeah, definitely through there and down to downtown Oakland. I won't extend it across just yet. And then this one will extend down to Brookfield, which could be extended to San Leandro, depending on whether we want San Leandro to go to this station or this station. Alright, we can always do multiple. So tracks, station, tram now. We're doing about 100 meters on tram stations. Yeah, about, you want to get it below 10%, but we're a little above that, but it's still not too bad. Right now it's below 10%, but by the end of the week, Friday and Saturday are the big refund days. Alright, so now we're just doing track. So yeah, we'll go to Piedmont Pines. 3, 4, 6, almost six stops. So this is going to be a busy one. That's what we want. Now, tram lines don't cost money to cross roads, only rivers. And then for some reason, it doesn't just give you a thing you actually have to build. Viaduct. Which is this. Same for the main line as this for trams. It's kind of tricky. It's like if they get there too late, they ask for, I think that's compensations if they have to wait too long. And then if they don't like the price for how long, which is different, if they don't like the price for how long it took, then they ask for a refund. Oops, that's not that. Just want to build a little bit until it turns blue. Now we can continue on. Where are we trying to get to? Piedmont Pines. So the first stop is actually quite a ways away. Yeah, waited too long. Refused, too high fare. So refused, that means they get to the station. I think they just refused to get on the train. Refunded though means they got on the train, found out it took too long for the price, and said, I want my money back. And for some reason, we give it to them. Alright, let me get this, actually build the stations first. That's usually the best way to do it. $3,600, yeah, that's good. That's a good station. And then Oof, all these little ponds. Just try to avoid them. Piedmont Sport Field. 2,700, that's pretty good. We want to make sure we catch. The population doesn't have a real population number, it's based on the density of roads. But it takes footpaths and parks and other places as like high density population areas. He wants to add real population data though, but that's a big task. $4,000 on that one. Hear our voices. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like we can get one more in downtown Oakland. Boop. Visit Oakland selfie wall. There we go. Alright, now we can connect all those up track. Top speed is 45, so it can be pretty curvy without causing issues with the speed of the train. Okay, now we gotta kind of swing up and around. Yeah, they did the trams this way because it's like otherwise it'd be super tedious to actually account for every single street and road. Yeah, just avoid that water. This can just follow whatever this road is here. And boop. Alright, so that's that branch. We could add another station and then curl that one in a little bit closer, but I'm just want to get a couple of lines for each station, because we can fully develop the rest of it later, and especially after they get like signals and everything working, that'd be the time to kind of go through and make your street level local system really nice. Right now it's just a matter of grabbing some population to throw on the station. Alright, and then like I said, we'll go down to Brookfield. Stations first. go up a little higher? Yes. Control Z. There we go. Webster Academy. I think I wanted to swing a little bit more this way, but that's fine. Won't get quite as many people. Let's put it here. And then there. 2414. Yeah, that, so that gives us 9 stops plus the one there, 10 stops. Alright, yeah, the road or track. Two times their expected time and 4 times their expected price. No wow, very unhappy. How much purple there is? Because you want as many people as possible. So I'm just kind of like, you know, I can totally ignore the streets, but I try to kind of line them up with the pattern a little, at least a little bit. The tracks between though, it's like, yeah, I'm not that fussed about it. There's some people who are playing this game though, they're recreating their local transit network like perfectly. No, it's just no, the only thing that affects price is rivers for trams. Rivers and crossing streets for the main lines and rivers for trams. That's where I can actually do it. Sneak between the rivers there. Still 45. Yes. Okay, this one we have to kind of swing around. actually stay 45? Yes, it does. Nice. Yeah, this is pretty straight. The actual train line runs through... Oh, there's Jack London Square. Yeah, it comes through... Yeah, I think through here. First leg of a journey, not anything after a transfer. Ah. Yeah, like I said, he definitely changed the prices of overpasses, so I wonder if he did other kind of balancing. With the satisfaction formula. Alright, so there's 18 million for that. That's not too bad. Build all blueprints. Boom. And now we need trams. That's one only at least 4, not 5. I'm gonna call it 5. So let's make the line. New line. Oakland. Local for now. Price per kilometer, we're doing $1 seems to work so far. Might be a little high on some places. And now make the stops. What I'll do is when I'm sitting here off stream waiting for the next bundle of money, I'll add the tags to the local stations. So I have a system where so I know where the stations are. I haven't done it for those yet. First three letters of the city, then kind of adjust the name. I wonder if he took my suggestion for... I did suggest in the forums the idea of when you try to edit a name, it keeps the original in the text box for you. Let's see if there's any replies to that post. And finally, boop. Alright, so now...
Plebs are needed.
Noodle Being, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the chill team. How you doing? Welcome, welcome. Alright, so we've usually been setting for this for 40. Seems to work okay. Estimate the travel time. Alright, we have... I think he fixed the total time now. I think the way he laid it out actually works out to the right time now. So if we're going to do 5 trains, that's 100 minutes. Almost 100 minutes. So 20... So 18 would be a good interval. Boop. 18 stops. Alright, and then let's put, like so, we'll put 5 trains. That's 8.5 million a train, so that's 40 million, 42 million in trains. City trams. Do I need to change color? We're only doing 3 cars on these. 305. Yeah, 550. That would spend up there. Yeah. I think I like smaller, more frequent eventually. So we'll stick with the 3s for now. And we're gonna get 5. 42.5 million. Oakland local. Gotta change the color of the line there. And finally, lines, Oakland local. Let's see, let's make that green. Oakland A is green. Perfect. All right, now how many passengers? We have 164 passengers waiting there, so we didn't pick them all up. So the train is definitely full. We're evening time. 1,500 passengers waiting there. Holy cow! Are they waiting to go in or out? By count, they're mostly wanting to go on the trams. They're very, very angry people. Holy cow. Alright, so how do we... Compensations seem to be from people getting left behind on the platform. So do I... You guys aren't. So it's actually the refunds, compensations. Waited too long, refunded, compensated. Alright, now that's off peak, that should stop. So what do I want to do? I want to lower... Let's try lowering this price a little bit. first. We'll go down to 130. And then we will local, we'll go to 0.8. See if that makes them happy. Alright, what day of the week are we on? Friday, yep. Friday is peak refund time, but yeah, we're up to 20%. For the week though, we're at $2 million, about 6%. Alright, now just see. I'll have to wait till. Let's see how it goes Monday. Lines. I'll keep track of your accounting. So you're not too bad. East Bay Mainline. Okay, that's not too bad. Oh. Total refunds may be for them getting other places. So Richmond South wasn't too bad. So who's piling up the refunds? Unfortunately, it doesn't show compensations on the individual lines. So it makes it hard to tell where that is happening. But it does seem to be tied into leaving people at the main stations. Seems to be the biggest cause of that issue. We're early in the morning, so it's not going to show right now, and we're going into the weekend. But that was a big problem here, and so putting more and more trams to get those people off the main station seems to be the solution for a lot of the compensations. And that is, let's go to, so that's the main Oakland one. Like I said, I'll go through and put the Oak code in front of it and the Burr code in front of these. So if we can get so I do have money for like 3 more trams on here if I need them. So that's probably what I need to do to cut down the compensations, is make sure there's enough trams on this one to actually feed on and off. See, it's going up. There's only 308 in range of the station itself. So they have to get there by tram. Unhappy. As long as they're only mildly unhappy, then at least they still pay. Alright, we're getting into heart of the day. 700 people waiting. Okay, it looks like we're putting people onto the... Nah, it's about break even. Let's see what this one is. Yeah, dropped off 168, pick up 150. So how much is the Oakland line making? 200,000 so far. Have we stopped the bleeding on the refunds? Because that is awful lot of refunds for local operation. There's a couple on each one. My bet is it's people going from here to here. So by the crow flies, it's very, very short, but they actually have to travel a long way. That's usually an issue, causing refunds. Wow, 5,000 people there. So 200 people waiting. At least on the end lines, it's like the train drops off, everybody picks up everybody. Nobody gets on coming this way just so they can come back. 200, so we're right at the limit of all the stations. That's a good point against having the bigger trams, because they can't, well, they can fit 200 and then they can fit 200 more. Yeah, so we're cranking up the refunds. Compensations have gone up a little bit. Refunds. My brain is not quite in the position to like do the deep dive on. This end that's getting the refunds. Or is it still this station? Alright, everyone going to Piedmont. Very, very angry. Arcadia. And then, yeah, we're still tons and tons of refunds. CDs and DVDs. DVDs on top, 2 rows of CDs, and then there are some more DVDs behind the pillow. All double stacked. Alright, so this is definitely the problem. 1.5 million. Piedmont. So the one's going to Piedmont. Yeah, I think because it's again because it's doubling back. And then there's all kinds of, okay, so East Bay Main Line, State. So we're taking too long? Where's the matchup exactly? Since I don't have any traffic problems because I'm not doing branches, I think these all match up perfectly. Drop top 424, picked up 250. Oh no, this is going over. There's a problem. So I think we have to tell it to assume a little bit slower. Alright, so that. So let's go 250. Estimate travel times. I wish it would like go red if it was like behind schedule. It's like red. So there's all kinds of UI things that 18 refunds, there we go. Let's see this one. Okay, now there's no refunds. I think I was telling him we could go faster than we actually are, so telling him we're going a little bit slower. I think that will be the key there. Did I tell him, oh yeah, we can do 270? And it's like, nope. 1900 on the platform. That also would do it. Yeah, Saturday's always a bad day, but it's a really bad day. You have to, if you do a circle route, you have to run it both ways, because it's if you look at things, it's pretty apparent that crow flies distance is what they're expecting the results to be. So if there's any kind of backtracking on the trains, then you get them there later than they think, and for more expensive than they think they should pay. It's like so someone going from here to here is not going to be happy. But can we? But because the people waiting at the station here can't get on a train to get out, I think that's an issue. How many people are waiting here? 1,700? How many people are waiting? Which 4,000? Holy cow. Holy cow. So where do you want to go? Alright, so if we pause it all and look at 4,200 passengers, show all. So the angry one is, are there any other? Satisfaction, alright, so all the ones going to local, so I actually want to show by origin. Destination. Okay, so the unhappy destinations are all the places all the local, most of the local places, and they're really happy to be going to Dixon. The only person happy to go to Dixon. St. Paul's. Where? Most people want to go there. The other half want to go. So they want to go on this line, or they want to go to Kaiser Medical Center. So this is the line everyone wants to get on. We go to those 3 stops, but we don't have enough capacity to do it. So really right now it's a matter of putting enough trams on these. So let's put a tram, let's put one more tram on each of these lines. They didn't really mention anything about Point Richmond. Pinole, Rodeo. Yeah, they're not really wanting to go that way. They do want to go south. Okay, that's there. There are a lot of people leaving. 1,300, so about 2,000 and one. And everyone else actually wants to leave. So more trains. Okay, so how's everyone else doing? 847. So we've created a nightmare. 1,000 Fairfield. So yeah, so with this money I definitely want to put more trams on these 3 lines. at least get the people back home more efficiently, because that's where I think that's where the compensations come in. People getting stuck at the stations. Because when we added more trams at other stations that had that kind of overbooking, our compensations went way down. Angry people. So 37 million. Of course, I'll do it, and then we'll get to the point of part of the week that where that doesn't matter anymore. Make it all better. Yep. How you doing, D-Rocks? Welcome. All right, so let's add a tram to each of those. Yeah, we can buy 3. 25 million. Yep. Purchase. Alright, so you go on to Richmond South. You go on to Berkeley. And you go on to where are we? Oakland. Alright, now I gotta fix those lines. So Richmond South. So now we have how many trains? 7 trains. So 7 into 60, 77. Well, that's easy. 11 minutes. But we go down by 1. So it'll be 10 minutes. Make sure nobody's following each other. Super close. Berkeley, we're up to 4 trains. Yep, we got 2 hugging each other there. But that's because I gotta set a new time. 8 minutes. And then this one. Oakland. We now have 5 trains. 1, 2, 3, 4. 6 trains. So that is 6 into 106. Be 6 times 15 would be, no, it's 96. Railway engineering training. Hey, Animal, how you doing? Welcome. 60, 96 divided by 6. Okay, that's all easier. 90 divided by 6 is 15. Doing good, excellent. Alright, so that should spread them out. Let's make sure, again, nobody's following each other's tail. At the highest speed, sometimes they won't wait properly behind the next one. Alright, so we paid out over 1 million compensations on Saturday. course, now we're at the point of the day where it doesn't make any difference. But that should help. So that may be what I have to do when I'm sitting here making money, is keep adding trams to these busy stations on Friday and Saturday until we can clear the platform. Second train on here is probably a smart idea too. Because I don't know how many are trying to get out of Oakland to other places, so I have to look at that. One day we'll get into actual San Francisco. Come down here and then loop. It'll actually probably be like I did here. 2 stations and 2. So line in San Jose and then San Jose to San Francisco. By then I might have enough money to actually. Because right now we're making. Well, we were making 50 million a week. Fares 52 million, so we're still making 52 million in fares. We've only lost 5 million in compensation for the week, so hopefully that won't be too bad. Like I said, Friday and Saturday are the bad days for, because it seems to build up over the week. And then Monday's the big money making day. So we'll stick around for that. While that's going on, let me get up the stretch just a little bit. Yeah, my left leg is still trying to fall asleep on me. And then we'll look at the next couple days. So BRB again, guys. Bloop, bloop, bam, bloop. Alright, I'm back, everybody. Thank you so much for waiting. Thank you. That felt good. Walk around. Alright, so yeah, as expected, once we got past the busy part, very little in refunds and compensations because the stations just aren't full. Not only Sunday, it's Sunday early in the morning. Hey Jimorian, how you doing? Welcome. So the question is how the next week will go. Okay, so it looks like the counting week is Monday to Sunday. Bang bang, Jimorian, 8 months in a row. Holy cow. Bang bang. There's the hype and love. Thank you very much, Jimorian. Welcome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Mass Transit is so profitable, right? Hey, Aeroflynn. Yeah, 56 million last week, minus 5 million or so, so 51 million in operating profits. Of course, we bought a whole bunch of tracks, stations, and trains. Oh wait, that's another 2 million or so. It's about 49 million in operating profits. But we have to figure out figure out what's causing all the compensations. Like I said, seems to be the fix seems to be more trams to yank the people out of the station and get them home. So I'll have to see where those biggest crowds are. Friday is really when that hits the hardest. So I think I can, as we're going through the week, I can see where they're piling up. Start putting trams to fix that as much as possible. And then, because we should have enough, by the end of the week, we should have another, by that time, 40 million. So I could put on, these trams are 8.5 million each. So I could put on another 5 total. Or six, maybe 6 or 7 if necessary. But it would take, it's like 15 minutes per day. So that'd be like another hour and a half. I'm tired, so I'm gonna go ahead and call it. Let's see who we can raid. So NIMBY Rails is gonna be a lot like this, where I build up money, we do some building, see how it shakes out. But let's see, I do want to, so next time we'll get down, I think probably station somewhere in here. And then send a couple of spikes of transport in the Castro Valley. And then Fremont. Have to be careful with all this water stuff. And then Milpitas, and then by then we'll might have enough money to go ahead and just punch her right into downtown San Jose. So that's the goal. Alright, let's go see who we can raid. I think I'm gonna come back tomorrow. I think I'm gonna get back Kerbal. And then probably play on the old asteroid in Oxygen Not Included afterwards. And then the day after will be a new asteroid start. And we'll do 25 cycles per day. 50 cycles, that's 9 hours. That way we can split things up and break things up and do more things. Alright. Watch the VOD, very cool. Yes, and if you do like watching, they're catching up on stuff, we have a spreadsheet that I keep pretty up to date. It shows either the recent streams or going back a couple months, where I highlight all the streams in the VODs for each game. So you can find all the old streams there. And let's see. Let's go. The 24 dupes. So that's the plan. Thank you guys. Awesome stream. Raid Bat Quito. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. So have a good one. Catch you later. Bye bye. And the boop.